Dave Palumbo here, and Olympia week is upon us, and just because of that, I'm going to offer you a very special deal at speciesnutrition.com. 30% off the entire website. That's right, 30% off the entire website. Just use coupon code Olympia30 for this special Olympia week from now through Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. That's right, 30% off speciesnutrition.com just because it's Olympia week. Guys, enjoy the broadcast and check out the specials at speciesnutrition.com. 30% off. Use Olympia30. Free shipping on orders over $100.
Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company and Species Nutrition present RX Muscle's Olympia weekend coverage. For those that lose their mind if they haven't eaten any protein in 3.5 hours, OSBBC.com for the hardest training athletes.
212 Olympia Prejudging just wrapping up. Sadiq Faruqi alongside Chris Aceto and John Mountain Dog Meadows. Chris, I know you got KAMAL right now. You got to go coach him up. So I'm going to ask you one question, and you can bolt your assessment of what you saw up there in the middle. You had KAMAL. You had a very tough challenge from Sean CLARIDA.
You know what? I didn't want to disrespect people because people, you know, they're invested emotionally into their own bodies. And, you know, I hate to make predictions, but when people would ask me personally, you know, coming into the show, who's going to give KAMAL the best run for his money, I always said Sean CLARIDA. I never deviated from that. And, I thought Sean gave him a run last year in terms of what Sean CLARIDA brings is more unique to his physique than everyone else that Sean beat last year and will beat this year. He's a small frame guy with a tiny waist, which gives the illusion of that his frame is far bigger than it is. He packs a ton of muscle. His conditioning is outstanding. That said, I think KAMAL's muscle density, maturity, width, to some degree, I guess stage presence too plays into, you know, me, I would say that KAMAL's in first place. Being pushed by CLARIDA, George Peterson, I would have third. And then after that, you know, I mean, we can talk about it. That's you know, obviously the top three, and everyone else was mixed up. And there were some guys I think could have placed higher. I was a little bit surprised by who got, you know, who did get called, who didn't get called. The lighting for this show was absolutely outstanding. If you're a spectator, you could see, you know, exactly what was going on stage.
All right, Chris, I know you got to run. You got to go coach up KAMAL. Good luck. We'll catch up with you later.
I'm not that busy, dude. I can listen to
you literally said...
So I can say, this is what Sid Faruqi and Mountain Dog had to say.
Don't believe anything he said.
Well, let's get a thought from you here, John. Again, we saw KAMAL Elgarni last in the middle alongside Sean CLARIDA. Your assessment of what you saw in the 212 prejudging.
So first of all, it was phenomenal. It was a battle. 2 weeks ago, Sean asked me what I thought, and I said, it's going to be you and KAMAL. You're the top two. So no surprise there. Sean brought it. KAMAL brought it. I think Sean won certain poses. I think KAMAL won certain poses. I think this is very close. I think it's very close. And then, as Chris said, George is a third. Still like to see a little bit more balance there, a little bit more condition. And then Derek, probably fourth. I think Derek's... I think from the front, he really was hurting this year. I think his quads were down. I know Derek has a tough time making weight. I can see that look. I've lived it, so I know how Derek feels. I just think Derek would be great if he took a year or two and moved up into the open. I think Ahmad, he's probably around 5 or 6. I just wish Ahmad had quad separation. He's got a lot of awesome, round, beautiful muscle. His glutes are in, his back is dense. When he walks out, you just go, wow, look at him. Just missing the quad separation, though. It really hurts him. Phenomenal group. There were some, I'm kind of thinking the same thing Chris did. There were some guys that I was a little surprised where they were called out. I'm a little partial to this, but I thought Guy Cisternino was at his best. I thought Guy looked phenomenal.
Oh, great, yeah.
I'd like to have seen him get compared, but tough class. And I think this is going down to the wire. That's how I see it.
As a defending champion, what did you see out of KAMAL Elgarni specifically? And furthermore, what would you like to see out of finals this evening?
I don't think you can get any better. I think this is, you know, you can put something on stage, and I don't think you can get any better than, than he is here. His calling cards is muscle density, roundness, the side triceps, he's got the big giant pecs. He's got the hands on hips most muscular, that's impressive. He's got muscle detail that only comes with 20 plus years training. It's not something that you have to go back to the hotel room really, I think, and change much, which would probably be a mistake. I think that, the only thing that he probably can do to come in better would be to, not wear himself out between now and tonight. I thought overall both him and Sean would just, I said it last year, and it's funny, I watched that prejudge and I hear John say it's going to come down between you and Kamal, and I've been saying that for 1 year, to people, and because, CLARIDA's so impressive. I mean, they're all impressive, and there's really, these seasoned guys at this level, Kamal knows that he can't eat more and look better or drink less and look better. It's just a matter of just not flubbing up between now and tonight.
John, let's get a thought about Sean CLARIDA, because pound for pound, we talked about his conditioning. They call him the giant killer for a reason. And again, he just seems to always bring it. He never seems to be off. But tonight, or rather today, it just seemed as if he dialed up another level coming out on the stage for prejudging.
Him and Kamal both did. Like, I was watching pictures of Kamal leading up to this, and I told Sean, I said, Kamal's gotten better. Not only is he a champion, he's gotten better. And Sean got better. So you got two guys that didn't rest on their laurels. They both cranked even harder. They both got even better, which is what makes it real cool. As a fan, like, man, these guys, they got even better. And Sean has this unique structure where his quads have a certain flow to them, the way his pelvic girdle and his waist sit. He's just got this real unique structure, and he's got full muscle bellies that when he's on, it's going to make him look 20 pounds bigger. It's just a very unique thing. And as Chris said, Kamal is the same age as I am. I'm 48. He's 48.
49.
So he's older than me. Oh my! So now I'm feeling really behind. But I love the older guys. He has a look. You can't get that look with 5 or 10 years of training. That's a look that you get over decades, and you can really see it in his back poses. When Kamal hits a rear double bicep, it's lights out.
Yeah.
You can see like that guy's been training a long time, and you don't see that with a lot of younger guys. You see voluminous, full muscle bellies, but you don't see that look that you can only get. So, man, I thought both those two, man, I'm super impressed with both of them.
Angel Calderon rounding out the first call out. Let's get a thought from both of you on what we saw from George Peterson. There was so much excitement with him crossing over from the classic physique division. Obviously now no restrictions, able to grow. What did you make of George Peterson's 212 debut?
I thought he looked really good here. You can't really knock him other than that there were a couple guys ahead of him who were better than him. He looked great. Alone, he looked off the charts.
Yeah.
He looked taller than everyone. He looks as wide, if not wider, than anyone. He looks like a taller CLARIDA, but the irony is he doesn't look quite as big as Sean and Kamal when next to those guys who are a lot shorter. He looked outstanding. There's not even like one knock that I could say, you know what, this is why this was his best. It blew away, where he was as a classic guy.
Yeah.
He's better than he was earlier in the year. And, it's hard to peak twice a year. It's hard to peak once a year.
George Peterson has found a home now in the 212, in your opinion?
Absolutely. I love him in this class. This class is made for him. Like, his body is made for this class. So George is only going to get better. So sneak peek for next year, Sean will be better, George will be better, and Kamal will all be better. I bet you anything, all three of them will be better next year.
Sid, I always used to say, I used to be remarkably critical of George Peterson as a classic guy. I said, this guy, Dave said, what do you think? I said, I'm not even going to have him in the classic. He does not belong here. He's not the right, he belongs in the 212. And you know what? It's not really a stretch. I don't know what he weighs, but 20 pounds.
He said it last night. He said it last night.
He said it?
No, what he said last night, it was so funny because we talked to him about moving up to the 212, and he's like, I already got guys telling me I should move to the open. He goes, let me at least compete 1 year in the 212.
Yeah, do a little bit of 212 first.
I honestly think it'd be, might take some time, but
Right.
An open with that frame, an open competitor. And that's the thing, when he comes out by himself, you say, oh God, this guy can win for sure. because he's got the frame for it, the height and the width. And then, you know, he's up against stockier guys who are shorter than him. Even like Angel Calderon in some ways could make George look like he might need a little bit more roundness or fullness. So he's an open guy in the future.
It's going to be exciting. Steve Weinberger really worked them towards the end of prejudging, made them go through their routines and then go through their routines again. So presumably the 212 Olympia title is going to come down to the defending champion Kamal El-Garni and Sean Clarida, who posed a very strong challenge in prejudging. For John Meadows and Chris Aceto, I'm Sadiq Faruqi. We'll see you tonight at the finals.